That was my overdramatic no.
5, 4. Hello and welcome to another episode of the podcast for the recently deceased. I'm the boss, Hosferatu, and with me today is Stephen Anthony from Dark Claw Studios. How we doing,
You guys.
Stephen?
Nate, we are doing good. How are things over at Basement Media, Hoss?
Basement Media is rocking and rolling. I'm enjoying the break before our next con because it's in still 3 weeks away, and then we have that other one 2 weeks after that. And I'm also looking forward to the end of the season. I'm looking forward to hunkering down through the winter and getting my next book out, hopefully by spring or in spring, during spring.
I'm not saying this as a shameless plug. What con do we have coming up after the one in Oneana?
That's the fetish con. I can't remember
Oh,
the
that's
name of that.
Missy's con.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's in Liverpool, October 24th and
No.
25th.
Yeah, that I will see you in Oneana for sure.
Okay. Hey, I'm okay. I'm okay taking the table by myself. I don't have. I mean, It's the first time. I'm just there to support Missy and Joe. Was it Joe?
Yeah, Missy and Joe. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they're great. Missy's awesome. Great people, and you are way better at making the connects and doing the networking at these conventions than I am. My introvert kicks in. You're extroverted 100%. Loved all the photos that you shared on Facebook with you and is it Kane Hodder? Am I saying?
Yeah,
Am I
Kane Hodder. Yeah.
um, just everybody else that you met there. That was really really cool. How upset are you that you didn't get the was it Annabelle Creation that was sold?
Oh my God. So, little backstory for the viewer. I bought a Chucky in a perfect yellow Good Guy Dolls box, and it looks just like the one from the store in the movie. I love that they put it in a Good Guy box, whoever put this product out. And we're at the con, and we're walking around, and this toy collector has the exact same thing, essentially, except it's for the Annabelle doll, and it looks so perfect. The Annabelle doll looks exactly like the one from the film. The I have seen other ones. In fact, this company that made the Chucky makes an Annabelle, but it looks terrible. So
Mhm.
obviously I didn't buy it. It was $500. So I balked on it, and I was like, it's a 3-day con. On Sunday, I'll go and see if I can make a deal.
Right.
And halfway through Saturday, there's a little family of 3 walking by, and the daughter, who's probably 14, is carrying the giant box with the Annabelle doll in it, and I'm like, no.
And she was happy about it too.
Oh
She
my
was she,
God!
she was happy and she wasn't shy. Like
To be
she let
yeah,
people know.
to be completely honest, to see how happy she was with it, I was glad I didn't get it.
But that's
Um,
not the emotion you expressed in that moment,
that
was it?
is not the emotion I expressed in that moment. Just great regret. I would have gladly paid the 500. I just was being cheap, and that's what happens. You snooze, you lose. Is the moral of this story?
Great
Um,
regret that is bordering on "Come here, you little fuck," and
yeah,
give me my Annabelle
gave
creation.
my Annabelle doll.
And she didn't give a shit. Like you were throwing very funny,
Yeah,
charismatic, like quips, to almost like boost her ego, or definitely
yeah,
to boost.
yeah.
That
Exactly.
she got it and you didn't, and she didn't give two shits.
Yeah,
She was up in I got Annabelle creation land.
I was trying to have
Yeah,
a little back and forth with her and the family, but no,
tete-a-tete.
a little tete-a-tete. All right, enough with the nonsense. We are here to discuss The Long Walk. A group of teenage boys compete in an annual contest known as The Long Walk, in which they must maintain a certain walking speed or get shot. Um, I don't.
Whoa, 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 whoa! What happened to? Okay, this is the
Yeah, this
non-spoiler
is
territory.
no. This is IMDb's description of the
Well,
movie.
fuck you, IMDb.
Yeah,
It's a
this is
goddamn secret
that's the first
what a
thing.
ticket is.
That's the first thing I wanna say is that IMDb, if you want someone to write better synopses for your website. Nathaniel Roberts. I'm an author. I do freelance work. Just hit me up. That is a terrible description of this movie for people who haven't seen it to read
Yeah,
before they go see the movie. Shame on you.
yeah.
Uh,
And IMDb, Nate's not the only author here. Stephen Anthony from Dark Claw Studios, who's not a selfish prick, uh, is also available to write infinitely better descriptions. So, non-spoiler,
no
when
spoiler.
you're reading the book, and this originally came from the Bachman books, which he wrote a few things as Bachman, one of which being Thinner. I think Desperation being another one. The Bachman books was his collection that includes Cadillac Man, which is garbage. The Running Man, which is way better. Thank God that they're remaking it way better than the movie. The Long Walk, which I've been waiting for 20, 25, 30 years, however long it's been out. And Rage, which will not be reprinted. The FBI went to Stephen King to get into the headspace of a school shooter when Columbine happened. And ever since Columbine, you cannot find Rage anywhere unless it's in the original Bachman books. I think in bad condition on eBay, it's something like $250. So I got a $250 book on my bookshelf somewhere. I've been waiting for the Long Walk forever, whose proper description would be in a contest where there's only one surviving walker. A group of kids start out, and they after three warnings, they will receive their ticket. Is a better setup.
Right.
IMDb.
All right. Directed by Francis Lawrence. Screenplay by J.T. Molnar. Obviously written by Stephen King. Starring Cooper Hoffman, David Johnson, and Garrett Waring. We here at the podcast, if you have never checked in, we're going to give you a quick little summary and score out of 10 about how each of us felt individually about the film. And then we are going to enter Spoiler City, where we will warn you to go watch the movie and come back and finish the episode. Or if you don't care about spoilers, stay tuned because
Everything was already spoiled, guys.
we
It's spoiled. Go
we are
see the movie.
we are
Amazing. It doesn't matter. Go see this movie.
all right. Um, Steven, you obviously are passionate about this movie. Why don't you start us off?
I am very passionate about this movie. I give it a 9, and I'm so. Mm, okay, I got to go into the spiel now. I was going to try to hold off until the end. I cannot make it into the end. It is not obviously written by Stephen King. I'm going to push back on you. The reason why I wanted you to stay for the credits, just for the 60 seconds. No, there is not an Easter egg. No, there is nothing at the end. When the card comes up, written by Stephen King. No, it was not. If that card had said written by Richard Bachman, and this movie hit me in the feels several times throughout the entire thing, especially with how close they stuck to the story and just stuck to the feel of it way more than the monkey did, and just more true to the original subject matter. I absolutely loved it. If I had seen executive producer Stephen King, written by Richard Bachman, I would have lost my absolute shit, and I would have been incredibly happy. Other than that, this movie for me is a 10 that got knocked down by 1 point for a certain casting choice, which we'll talk about later. So for me, The Long Walk is a 9. I loved it. Go see it. Go see it twice.
Okay. Um, Spoiler-free review coming. I gave it an 8, and here's why. Um, this movie obviously had a very low budget. We're
Mm.
talking about no sets. We're talking about two up and coming actors and one Mark Hamill. Everybody else pretty much a no name.
And
Uh,
Judy Greer.
oh, right, and Judy Greer, who was amazing.
Judy Greer was
Who was
Judy
amazing.
Greer as the mom was phenomenal.
She was phenomenal. I think I've loved Judy Greer in every role she's ever taken.
At a
Um,
certain point, I know, hate to cut you off, but at a certain point, I'm like, is that Judy Greer? And that's how good she is because she has a very distinct look about her. And I didn't recognize her. She was Ray's mom in this movie. Absolutely fantastic performance. But yeah, the low budget is kind of what knocked it down to a 9 for me. Um, because you got Judy Greer, and she should ask for more money, and you got Mark Hamill, and what would have made this movie a 10 without the Richard Bachman credit? If Benicio del Toro, that's what I've been chomping at the bit to ask you. If Benicio del Toro played the Major, what would that have
Mm.
done for you, Nate?
I mean, that would have been an interesting change. I don't think it would have made it worse. I think it could have been the same or better. What I like about Mark Hamill's performance, and we can get, and let's bring this up in Spoiler City, because I don't think I can talk about it without positing one of my predictions that did not. Uh,
Well,
that
are
did
we
not.
in spoiler territory right now, guys? You
No,
haven't seen
no,
the movie yet? Go see the Long Walk.
no. I have to finish my 8 out of 10.
Okay.
All right, 8 out of 10, guys. Uh, the movie is emotionally devastating. It is.
Hmm.
You are sucked in to every single moment of the film just by the plot device of the walk itself.
Yeah.
Um, what I like about the movie is it kind of, you might think that the villain is the major, but I think the villain is the long walk itself,
Yeah.
which I thought was really really interesting,
Yeah.
as how like society in conjunction with the event the long walk is kind of this uh, metaphysical villain, or antagonist,
Yeah.
so you don't really get to have a hero and a villain. Not to mention, you're rooting for all of the walkers except for like one of them.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and that kid gave a great performance.
Oh yeah, he did. He definitely
Did
did.
he play Bakovich? Was that the character's name?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Barkovich, Charlie. Yeah,
Barkovich.
Charlie Plummer.
Holy
Yeah,
shit! And I'm pretty sure he was in the book. Definitely Stebbins was in the book. I knew what his reveal was going to be. Um, Pete McVries. There's so much to talk about with this
so
movie.
much to talk about. Let me finish up. Why did it get the 8 if I'm saying all these wonderful, wonderful, wonderful things
Yeah,
about it?
Nate. Why
Why
did you
did
give
it
it a
get
Nate?
an
You
8?
cheap bastard.
Well, because that's exactly the phrase. The this the studio, these producers were cheap
Yeah.
fucking bastards.
Yeah.
Why were the effects not practical? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? It was just headshots. It's like the fucking easiest fuck. Every fucking movie has a fucking brain exploding headshot in it these days. How on earth are you not putting practical effects in this movie? How is every single one of these kills garbage, splatter CG, and and pulling me out of the movie? This perfect movie, this amazingly written dialogue. The plot is so tense, you are locked in. And every time someone dies, I gotta go, oh fuck, that looked like shit, and then I gotta get myself zoned back in.
So
What a
I'm watching this movie,
huge
and
mistake.
I know I'm watching this movie, and I'm not immune to it. I'm not immune to um, effects that, for whatever reason, they don't muddy it up. They don't make it look real. They don't put enough filters on it. They don't spend enough time and love, for the upteenth time in this podcast, in making it look real. And so there's a kill, which, technically, since we're in non-spoiler territory, there's a kill, and there's blood seeping into the concrete, and I'm looking at it, and I'm doing this, and I'm like, oh no, is that is that CGI, or is that AI, whatever the fuck it was? And the second time I see it, it looked way better, and I thought, okay, maybe they used real blood, but I'm just like, discriminating. I was like, you know what, Nate's gonna know.
Yeah,
So yeah, that probably definitely fake blood coming out of the first one. What a fucking shame. Um,
but
because
that
especially for this movie, if you gave it like a 1980s feel, and if you stuck to like late 80s when he wrote the book, if you gave it like a late 80s, mid 80s, almost like production value or production paradigm of how to get stuff done, that would have been just an extra tip of the hat, an extra notch to where the story came from. That would have been absolutely mind blowing.
yeah.
Yeah, apparently it's cheaper to do special effects than practical effects. And Jesus Christ,
Yeah.
I understand obviously putting a hole in somebody. Well, slight spoiler: putting a hole in somebody's head. Um, you know, do the CGI for that, but the blood leaking out, like seriously, you can't.
Yeah.
Like we did that on my zombie movie that had a budget of $1,000 for the
Uh-huh.
whole damn thing. You can't get fucking corn syrup like Skeet Ulrich tells you to and Scream and just have that shit leak out on the floor.
Yeah. Um, then you might say, well, Nate, why two whole points for the CG? And it's like, well, there are 50 people on this walk. A lot of people die. A lot of this movie was taken up by CG effects. And I will uh, add that they also have to poop while walking,
So
and those effects were also done with CG, which I can understand a little bit more because that's probably, I don't know if it's harder to do than a bloodshot, but it almost feels like it's the same kind of effect. Um, Either way, CG for both, and unfortunately for me, too distracting and really just like you said, the movie definitely looked dark and gritty, and it felt like Stand by Me uh, on a walk, with more characters and a higher body count. Oh, well, an actual body count, right?
yeah,
Um, so they got the feel right. Like I was,
yeah,
I was
yeah,
in.
they
I
did.
was in. The dialogue was, I mean, it was Stephen King dialogue.
It was perfect.
The way Stephen King writes his insults,
Yep,
his use of fuck and goddamn it. I always
yep.
say about Stephen King, he is the only guy who should be writing goddamn it because the way he uses it is always so good.
Mhm.
Um, uh, yeah, I have nothing but good things to say about this movie besides the effects departments. Whoever made the decision to go CGI over practical. Um,
So I agree 1,000% with everything you said. It was definitely quintessential King for me. It was more like Shawshank Redemption. I remember watching Inside the Actor Studio with Tim Robbins, and of course, Shawshank Redemption came up, which is either number one or number two. They swap in and out between Shawshank Redemption and The Godfather. So naturally, they're going to talk about it, and James Lipton describes it as a love story between two straight men. I feel this is a love story between one straight man and one gay man, Ray Garrity and Pete McVries, and it's they hit you right in the feels, and you know it's coming, and there's nothing you can do about it anyway because it's coming. Where it starts from an obviously quick friendship to a partnership to a strategy to a brotherhood. The use of the word brother comes up, and when it comes up the second time, holy shit, does it knock you on your ass.
oh yeah.
um, but the Stephen King language throughout and the Stephen King world, Francis Lawrence did a phenomenal job keeping the authenticity of all of that, which is why I absolutely loved it. When we go through the timeline, there's one insult that I feel is just the phrase for the movie that encapsulates the entire thing. um, I loved it from beginning to end. The only reason why the budget bothered me is because, again, you could have got somebody other than Mark Hamill, who I do feel is a massive douchebag. That said, the movie does need, and the major is in the book, to a certain point, at least with one of the characters. I don't remember having him come up as much. I definitely need to reread the story. He's definitely more of a presence here, but you do need like a physical villain. If there's a metaphysical threat like a ghost, you need a collaborator, a human collaborator to provide that physical threat. The Major does that. Mark Hamill does that. I'm going to say pretty damn much well to perfection. He played this just about as well as anybody can play it. I didn't mind his performance. His work on this movie was great. I think it could have been kicked up a notch. Again, Benicio del Toro is the actor that's in my mind that I would have liked to have. But yeah, they got the rights to this and they made it. And they said, we could do this relatively cheap. You know, we could recycle places where they walk sometimes. We could just shoot this, pretty much on a low budget. The only other set was in the kitchen with his mom, then with his mom and his dad, which gives his motivation for being the winner. And everybody knows who read the book that Ray is going to win. And this movie starts out with the letter that's in the book that I thought was a great way to open it. Congratulating him on being the winner of the lottery to get into the long walk. So right there, you know Ray is the main character,
Yep.
and you know he's going to win the long walk. Are
Let's
we out of
let's stop
territory
right there just to say that we are obviously in spoiler territory, and our our short reviews are over. Um, okay, yeah,
yet?
Ray.
Did you read the book?
I did not, which I am very glad to have not read. Um, for the sake of this review. Like we'll get a nice contrast. How you don't watch horror movies.
Wow.
There are a handful of Stephen King specifically that I haven't read. So if
Please go read this book
oh I will.
and
I will absolutely read it
buy
now.
the movie.
Yeah, I will absolutely read it.
You know, Haas and everybody watching, go buy the book and buy the DVD, the Blu-ray. Buy it, buy it, buy it. Support this content.
Yeah. So real quick, Cooper Hoffman plays Ray Garrity. David Johnson plays Peter McVries. Um, Cooper did a fine job as Ray. He was great.
Mhm.
I want to just point out David Johnson real quick as the, in my opinion, deserves an Oscar nomination for his performance in this film. Um, uh,
Wow, and do not disagree. The Beautiful Human looked him up last night because I want to know if the scar was real. There's an actor in Hollywood who's got a scar, and you know he was in The Wire, and I wish I knew his name. Fantastic actor that was in When They See Us, and I was like, you know, can we look up this kid and see who he is? I need to know if that scar is real. They did not use bullshit effects. They got an actual makeup artist to do what they were doing.
right.
That scar was phenomenal.
Yeah, the scar looked great. Um, he was the android in Alien Romulus, which
You know, she said he was in Romulus, and we just got done going from Prometheus to Covenant,
oh
which Prometheus was a waste. But you know, it was necessary to make Covenant, and you know, God bless they gave Ridley Scott enough to do that. But cannot wait for Romulus. I wish I'd seen it, and now I can't wait to see it even more
yeah,
because of David Johnson's acting chops
yeah.
for sure.
Romulus is an average sci-fi horror movie. There's nothing great about it, but there's not much bad about it. Well, there's one thing great about it, and it's his performance. Once I didn't even know he was in it. Obviously, I try not to do research on movies before I see them. I'll do the research after.
Mhm.
As soon as I see him in the group of guys, I'm like, oh, oh yes, like I knew he was the second guy right away. I can't even call him a supporting actor because it's really like him and Cooper are this movie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so and he, oh my god, like I don't necessarily, the Academy never really hands awards out to horror, although it is happening more now than it ever has before. I'm not saying he should win it, but I'm absolutely saying and putting out into the universe that he should get a nom for this role, for this performance.
Golden Globe, MTV Movie Awards, if they still do that. Yeah, this kid has to be
Has to.
acknowledged for it. You know, who's better in Shawshank Redemption? Is it Tim Robbins or Morgan Freeman? You know, who's better here? Is it David or is it Cooper? Um,
Yeah.
Something to argue about for the rest of the time. I'm not going to make a call tonight.
All right. So he just read the letter. He's been accepted. We go to the car, right, for a heartfelt kind of conversation between um, Ray and his mother about this being his choice, right?
Yeah.
And she's obviously very distraught. Um, she brings up his father, who seems to be out of the picture. We don't know why. We will learn later in a flashback. Um, and he even says that even if he wanted to back out, he can't because the deadline was yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So he's stuck, even if he had regrets, which he doesn't, or he claims to not, at least, for this scene. Um, and then when he gets dropped off, right, there's a bunch of other kids there. Oh, this is important. He's the hometown hero.
Yeah.
This year's walk is in his home state, and
Yeah.
by day 4 or 5, I think it was 4, he'll be walking through his hometown. Um,
I know on I think it's like day two, they show a fan. This came up more in the book than it did here. They just showed a fan and they brought it up with the Native American kid, who was part antagonist, part protagonist throughout this movie, bringing it up. Whether or not it was an advantage or not, they have a conversation where Pete, we don't know if he's saving Ray or not. Pete's like, no, it's not easier on him because he has home state advantage. It's a disadvantage.
It's harder.
He feels pressure that none of us feel, to stay in this.
Right,
Um,
right. Or the opposite, homesickness to fail, like to just like
yeah,
run into his mom's arms, which he almost does.
came close, came close, and it was after. So there's two rules, and the major sets him up beautifully, and he's about to set it up pretty soon. But one of the rules is, kind of like blood sport, where you can't get off the mat. You go off the mat, or if you go off the main road in this, you get a ticket right away.
Immediately.
So, and you don't want a ticket, guys. We're about to find out what that is. I'm feeling to get. I want to stay strict to the timeline. When his mom is dropping him off, I felt, everybody's like looking at him, and it almost looks like nobody else was dropped off by their mom. you know,
Right.
you get dropped off your first day at school, 4 or 5, it's okay.
Yeah.
6, 7, first grade, okay, but really not really. Second grade, third grade, you get dropped off by your mom, you fucking pussy. So that's what I thought, and it was unspoken and just something that was awesome in there. So in the book, I think she makes sure that he has like snacks and an extra pair of socks.
Yep.
Um,
She even gives
we,
him
we
she
didn't
even
eat it.
gives him some homemade something, and she
Yeah, I
said,
think it's like oatmeal chocolate chip cookies or
yeah,
oatmeal chip cookies.
something
Like, what
like
the
that.
fuck is
Yeah.
an oatmeal chip? You don't mix oatmeal with chocolate chip.
Yes, you do actually. For oatmeal chocolate chip cookies, and she says when she gives them to him, I made these. She says what they are, and she says that I know they're your favorite, and he's like, thanks,
So, so hot.
mom.
Probably, maybe one of the most important discussion points that we're going to hit on the podcast for recently deceased or the long walk. You're saying you approve of oatmeal chocolate chip cookies.
Oh, I don't. No, I don't approve of them. No, but I've seen them and I've had them. They do exist. It is a real thing.
I'm going to say that they do not exist. I'm going to say they're bullshit. And if there's anything other than a fucking raisin in my oatmeal cookie, I'm going to lose my shit.
Yeah, fake news.
No.
Fake news.
Yep.
Okay. So he comes into the group, and we're gonna get a little taste of most of the main characters here, as they all start to. Ray actually breaks the ice by like getting people to start talking, and then once they start talking, the tension breaks, and you really feel it. You really feel the anxiety and the tension of these kids before the major shows up, before they all stand up and get the rules and start the walk, and and the tension breaks pretty quick when Ray starts a conversation, and they all start talking back and forth and yelling over each other and cracking jokes right away, like right off the bat, like
Quintessential Stephen King right there.
oh
Just
yeah,
master of dialogue and how people really, really talk.
oh yeah,
And yeah, so he goes up and he introduces himself to Pete, and right there the friendship is born.
yep. And we have a bunch of great characters here. We're just gonna run them down real quick. We have Stebbins, who will have a sweet reveal twist later. We have Arthur Baker, who is the devout Christian who smokes cigarettes and doesn't use curse words. We have
He was
Barkovich.
a great, great character,
Oh,
and so yeah. I got go ahead.
all right. We have Gary Barkovich, who is the douchebag, the one that nobody likes, but only because of his own behavior. Um,
Stebbins is also a douchebag, and like I said, the Native American kid, which I'm sure you're about to get to,
yep,
he's a quasi douchebag.
quasi douchebag. So we have Hank Olson, who this character bears some mention. Ben Wang is a new, not I don't know how new on the scene actor. He played the Karate Kid in the Karate Kid remake,
Oh no shit.
which was actually good. And I wouldn't want to say remake because it was definitely a requel. It definitely takes place after Cobra Kai, and is in the universe. It is canon, and he was great in the movie. It was a good enough kind of average, family friendly, feel good comedy, for the franchise. And yeah, he was amazing
So
as Hank Olson in this movie.
you know, this is easily the highest rating I ever gave any movie. So gotta violate my own rule that if we go down a rabbit hole, that means we don't care about it. Because I do. Are you talking about the new Karate Kid with Jackie Chan and Ralph Macchio?
Yeah, the one that has both of them in it. Yep.
Like Karate Kid Legends, I think it's called, or some
Yeah.
shit.
Yep. Yep.
Um,
He is the Karate Kid in that movie.
so I understand that you're an actor and you need to get paid, and this is your franchise. First of all, Jackie Chan should not have gotten top billing over Ralph Macchio. Um, Cobra Kai was Billy Zabka's vehicle. It was his turn, and it all came out started from hashtag Justice for Johnny. So, you watch Cobra Kai, which I absolutely love. I think it's near flawless. Um, without Ralph Macchio, you don't have shit.
Right.
So grow some fucking respect. Jackie Chan, you came in a reboot or a redo or whatever the fuck it's called, and then you get Cobra Kai, which is the actual sequel to the Karate Kid trilogy, which they fixed the abomination that was the third movie as much as they could, if not all the way, and made it great. Um, and then you do what? You get both worlds and you mix them, like, and. So I got to ask you if you saw both, if you saw Cobra Kai and Karate Kid Legends, does that take place after Cobra Kai?
So it doesn't look like it does, but I did Google it, and apparently it does. And the
So
reason,
Daniel owns a car dealership. He's married with two kids, Samantha and whatever the other fuck
well,
was.
you never see any of them because Jackie Chan goes to L.A., wherever the hell they were, the Valley, to get Ralph Macchio to come help, and then he says he's not going to. So they have one scene in Mr. Miyagi's dojo, right? The one that he has in like his backyard. So they have one
Yeah.
scene there, and then the next time we see Ralph Macchio is when he begrudgingly shows up to help.
In China?
In New York. It's New York City is the setting.
So you pull Ralph Macchio in so you can get all the feels and all the set design that Cobra Kai took advantage of, and you don't take advantage of it?
Nope.
Okay. Great. Yeah.
It,
Sign me up.
yeah, it was fine. Like I said, it was average. What you really like in this movie is the love interest for Ben Wong's character and his her father. Her father, who was played by the guy who played. Oh man, he was in Party of no, not Party of Five. He was in Dawson's Creek. What was his name?
Oh,
I love this guy.
Jackson, right?
Is it?
Isn't that his last name?
Yeah, Joshua
He was
Jackson.
also,
Joshua
yeah,
Jackson.
he was
Yeah.
also in When They See Us. He was fantastic in that. So a part of me does want to know if this love interest is as hot as oh, we're going down to way too many fucking rabbit holes. Adventures in Babysitting.
Oh, Elizabeth
From,
Shue.
Put up
Elizabeth Shue.
season.
I'm not going to comment on that because they're definitely high school children in this movie. So I'm just
Well, she
gonna
was
glaze right
high
over.
school in Karate Kid, and let me tell you, A, no, she fucking wasn't. B, Ralph Macchio was 25. Billy Zabka was like 27. C, nobody's hotter than Elizabeth Shue. D, the answer is fucking no. E, so this kid's name is Ben Wong, and he plays Hank Olson. And would you say hyperactive or overzealous? A little bit of a,
Yeah,
oh, the major's awesome. I want to suck the major's balls.
he's he's got a really interesting personality. Yeah, he's very hyperactive. I would say hyperactive.
Hyperactive,
Yeah,
yeah.
hyperactive. Yeah. All right, let's keep going. We got Roman Davis playing Curly, who I love just the name Curly. That's a Stephen King trope. He uses that name a lot. Just for as a
Who's
nick.
Curly in
As
this
a,
movie? Remind me.
oh, he's a kid who does he die first? He's the young kid.
Okay, I'm gonna look him up.
Yeah. And then we have there was one more. Oh, two more. Richard Harkness, who is writing a story about the Long Walk, which
Oh,
which
this
he's
kid.
which he says in the beginning is like obviously he'll only ever get to publish it if he wins. And then we have Collie Parker, who is the native, and yeah,
Yeah.
we could call him a douchebag with a heart of gold. He kind of feels like an antagonist early, but he's definitely a protagonist by the end. Um,
But everybody that's going into this long walk, and this is the emotional hook of the movie, everybody's got their own motivation.
mm,
And there's a great line coming up where they're talking about the voluntary nature of it, and I actually talked about it with other people, which I got to say, just to get this out of the way, I had the quintessential movie going experience, and it cleansed my palate for movie going. It really did. So uh, a Beautiful Human and I saw this in Middletown, New York, with very overpriced seats, $17 compared to the $5 that we could have paid in Oneonta, New York. And the woman behind us, when she found out what a ticket was, exclaimed perfectly. And then at the end, when the winner gets their wish, she's like, he's going to do it. And then she's like, he did it. It was so awesome. And she was asking questions about it. She was asking about, the voluntary nature of it and whether or not you get to back out. And I was like, well, in the book, you had about a month, but in the movie, you had about a day. So they changed that, and the different things that they changed. We just had a great conversation about it. The emotional hook in this movie, everybody shows up for a reason. So the Native American kid's name is what? Because I sound terribly ignorant when I don't know his name. Us,
let's just call him Kali.
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 So Kali is there, and they speak to it. In case he's not the winner, he goes out in an awesome way. You know, this story sets up a world. This is what's going on. We're in a post-dystopian, or we're in a dystopian reality. We're all reeling from something known as the Big War, and we are going to get America back on track, and we're going to do that by inspiring people, by winning a long walk where you only one person gets to be the winner. There is no finish line, and we're going to inspire people to do it. And Ray is the hometown favorite that's going to do it. It is televised, so yeah, the future, the horror will be televised for sure.
All
But
right.
everybody has, including Collie and Curly and this kid who wants to write a book. And when they each die in what you think is going to be the exact same way, it's not. So, who do you feel is going to die first? Who's going to get their
They're,
who's going to get the ticket, Nate?
who's gonna get their
When you watch it,
ticket punched first?
yeah, yeah.
Um, Man, what did I think? I thought Barkovich was gonna go way sooner than he did. Um, I'm kind of surprised he lasted. Uh, Stebbins might have gone sooner too. But I did love the reveal when he knew he was about to go. He walks up to the other survivors and he tells them the story of why he's there and his
Yeah,
background, and then
yeah.
he just falls off and then gets his ticket punched. Like yeah, that was great. That was a great reveal, a great scene. I do want to stop for a moment and go on one more little rabbit
One
hole.
more quick rabbit hole.
Although this one is way more relative to the film.
Succinct. Okay.
Relative to the film. So directed by Francis Lawrence. We've been talking a lot about the actors, so let's give these guys a little
A
screen
little bit of
time.
love.
Yeah. Pretty much all this guy has is well, yeah, I mean he has a ton, but it's all music videos. Except for he did the Hunger Games trilogy. So this guy, so basically for
What did he do on the Hunger Games show? Did he direct
director,
that?
he was the director, yeah,
Oh no shit.
and he directed Constantine and Red Sparrow. Looks like
Okay, so that's
I Am
pretty.
Legend, yeah, and then a ton of music videos.
Music
Um,
videos, from what I understand, is how you start out as a director. It's how you build your craft, and
yeah,
it's how you build your resume to the point where you get a film.
what I want to talk about is the writer J.T. Molnar, who whose biggest project before writing The Long Walk, he wrote and directed Strange Darling, which was my favorite horror movie of 2024. It's more of a thriller about two characters played by Willa Fitzgerald and Kyle Gallner. They're two people who kind of meet up for a one night stand and don't know much about each other. And one of them is a serial killer. And because it's told out of order, you don't really know who it is until the final chapter.
Nice.
And the story is brilliant. The writing is brilliant. It's if you have not seen or heard of Strange
Hush, we
Darwin.
are in technical difficulty. You are frozen.
Oh, well, I was not frozen on my screen, uh, so whoa, lost connection.
Hush, are you with me?
Whoa, I can hear you. Hold on, hold on. Whoa, our internet.
Oh, now you're back.
All right,
You're back.
okay, and we're back, and we're back. All right, and we're
My
back.
connectivity seems to be fine on
All
mine.
right. Okay. No, I have no thing. All right. I'm going to
Well, you're
stop.
sort of back. Right now, you're back, but you sound like Max Headroom a little bit.
Right, but we are not broadcasting. So I'm gonna